Programming by describing actions in plain text. I think all people can write computer programs. It is just that programming languages are too simple and too raw. This approach uses flow-based programming prefixed by an event listener followed by some actions that are described in text. A really good example of flow-based programming and processing is your mouse when you move it across a web page with a mouse event listener. Here you are sending out a lot of XY coordinates to the mouse move event listener, and you can process them by filtering and transforming the data into stream. You can filter out all the data until the mouse is pressed, and then let the user draw by placing a trail of colorful pixels at those X and Y coordinates. Allow me to describe it a couple more times. First, you have a program that drops all XY coordinate objects in the stream unless the mouse also reports being pressed. And then you have a second program on the stream that follows the first one, and it just picks random colors for a pixel and leaves them on the screen. You don't have to check if a mouse is pressed at the second program, because none of the packets, when a mouse isn't pressed, reach there. So we have two programs sitting on top of this stream, a packet dropper or a filter and a pixel painter or random color pen. And the stream itself starts with an event listener that gets XY coordinates from the mouse. This is all very simple, and that is a big deal in programming. All of this can be very easily visually represented with a circle for event listener, for example, a line for the stream of XY coordinates, totally makes sense, and a couple of squares representing the filter and the pen. So that's the representation of the actions. More than that, even before the graphical representation, this can be easily spelled out in text. And in fact, this program should be first structured or spelled out in a plain text document. Later on, as things grow a bit more, there will be a program that will tag all the paragraphs and offer some extra things, but this can totally start in a simple text editor on a mobile phone. The text then can be fed into a Cytoscape.js based visual program representation graph. It is very hard to get lost when you have text on one end describing everything in English, and then the flow of the program spelled out visually with color-coded icons. The text itself is just title for the name of the program declaration or the name of the event listener, and some needed variables such as use random color pen equals true, and paragraphs of text separated by new line that describe what each of the actions should do. Here, if there is a branching statement, the paragraph will describe to what listener the stream should begin flowing towards, or specify its name, but the map will be nearby, and there will be a drop-down box with a list of available streams, or list of compatible streams, rather. Finally, it is very important that free text is used to describe what happens on the line, what the filter is doing, or what the pen should do, because this allows describing program functionality that does not yet exist exactly like in behavior-driven development. As the development continues, the program is sent through a code generator, also a very simple thing. Here, where program chunks already exist, the user will connect them to the paragraph, and where functionality calls for programmers, the code generator will generate unit tests and possibly hint on posting a programmer bounty. The stream-based approach, as I have described here, is not just for efficiency, but for readability by examining large visual program maps. The shocking part of describing code with paragraphs of text is not about literate programming, but rather mobile phones. This environment allows for serious programming by just typing into little more than standard text boxes. Here, the developer begins to create a valuable description of a program already on day one, and simple search will list all the existing modules related to the paragraph the developer is describing. All you need to start writing programs is a slightly enriched text box, and just as soon as you start typing, a map of the streams and branches will snap into existence.